My dear fellow workers, in that part of the Lord's vineyard we know as the worldwide Billings family, I would like to thank Christian and Gretel and their organizing committee for the privilege of being able to send warm greetings and my prayers from Canada to all of you who have the privilege of participating in this International Billings Conference, and not only to participate but also to enjoy the climate and the hospitality of Costa Rica. The importance of the work you are doing comes from the fact that you are teaching love and at the same time loving, because you are teaching by precept and example. And to appreciate that, I would encourage you to remember a definition of love that we get from observing God loving us. And that is that love is doing the good that needs to be done, so further good can be accomplished. When you apply that to teaching a couple the Billings ovulation method and the fertility awareness that it teaches, then you recognize that you are first of all loving them, and then in that process teaching them to love, because you are doing a good for them that makes it possible for them to accomplish further good. The further good for one another, and particularly in their conjugal love, a further good they can do for God, a further good they can do for their family in living that conjugal love as God asks them to do so. And so, as we recognize that, you in turn give them the ability to do further good in those ways, and thus love multiplies. And to appreciate that, we know that love, an authentic love, does require sacrifice. But also, as our Pope Francis has reminded us in his apostolic exhortation on the joy of love, that authentic love produces joy, and he's encouraged us all to discover the joy of authentic love, particularly in married love and in family love. And so we can discover that joy as he directs us to pay more attention to St. Paul's description of love, that love is patient, love is kind, love is not rude, love is generous. And that joy is discovered when a husband and wife, for example, are patient with their emotions and their instinctual drives, when that is the good that needs to be done, so further good can be accomplished in their conjugal love and family life. That joy is discovered when a husband and wife are kind in their conjugal love, a kindness that encourages them to use their respective strengths as male and female to help one another and not to harm one another. That joy is discovered when their love shows respect for the dignity that they each have, made in God's image and likeness, and is never rude or neglects that dignity. That joy is discovered when their love is generous. And as Billings teachers, you know that the Billings method, by its very working in the lives of the couples, teaches patience, it teaches kindness, it teaches respect, it teaches generosity. And so they discover more the reality of the joy of love. And that joy we've seen discovered by couples on the streets of Calcutta when Mother Teresa's sisters taught them the Billings ovulation method. We've seen expressions of that joy from couples who learned the method in China and wrote letters of thanks to Dr. Billings. We've seen that joy in many parts of the world. And we need to rejoice in the fact that the good news that we are able to proclaim and bring to others not only teaches love and allows us to love, but it in turn teaches how to discover the joy of love and the strength that brings to the relationship and to the family. And so I encourage you, when you are talking to clergy about the work you're doing, remind them that you are teaching love, and not only are teaching it by precept, but by your example, in the way you love the couples and how you help them to discover the joy of love, both in their married love and in their family love. And may you continue to bring this good news to others for many years to come, and grow in your commitment to bring more love to the world. May you have a wonderful conference and training session. Amen.